Hey, did you know that 30 to 50% of parents report their toddlers are picky eaters? Yep, that's right. There's been a ton of research done on picky eaters. And today I am giving you some realistic tips, 10 of them, that will help you navigate this stage of your child's life. I'm Jill Castle. I'm a pediatric dietitian and mom to four, and I've been through this stage of life quite a few times, and I've helped thousands of families navigate it as well. Before we get started, I just want you to know that there is a free guide available to you called My Toddler Won't Eat. If you want to grab that, check out the link in the description below. So in this video, I'm going to give you 10 realistic tips that will help you navigate the toddler picky eating stage and keep things real. This is not about hacks or food tricks or hiding vegetables in smoothies. No, this is a holistic approach with tried and true tips that will move you along without harming your child. Because guess what? Those little hacks and sneaky chef ideas do nothing to help your child develop a good relationship with food, and worse, actually erode the trust between you and your child. I'm not going there. Stick with me. I've worked with so many families. These are the tips I give all of them all the time. Before we dive in, though, I want to give you some surprising facts about picky eating that comes from the research. Number one, picky eating occurs between ages 2 and 6, but it peaks at age 3. So if you're watching this video and you have a 3-year-old, you're at the height of it. It should fade away by age 6, but some kids will still struggle with picky eating and they may have a more serious form of it, something we call avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, or ARFID. I have a video about that. You can go check it out after you watch this. Number 2, the research tells us that there is a significant genetic component to picky eating. So it could be that your child has an appetite trait called satiety responsiveness. That simply means that your child senses fullness early in a meal or a snack. So they fill up faster. They slow down their eating as a result. Also, though, from a genetic component, if you were a picky eater when you were a kid, or your partner was a picky eater when they were a kid, pretty good chance your child's going to be a picky eater too. So, strong genetic component. Number 3, environmental factors also help determine whether a child's going to be picky or not. So, that could be a child's experiences with food. Maybe they gagged or choked or vomited after they ate. That can create a negative association and cause a child to be pickier about food. How much exposure they get to different flavors, different foods, and different textures can certainly influence whether a child is open and adventurous about food or whether they're more choosy about food. Interactions with caregivers can cause more pickiness. If you have not watched my feeding style series, where I talk about controlling feeding style, indulgent feeding style, and the diplomatic feeding style, you need to go watch that series, because that is what we're talking about, the interaction between you and your child around food. If a child has anxiety or there are power struggles between the parent and child, this can influence whether a child is choosy or picky about food. But here's the good news. Most kids will outgrow picky eating by age 6. So, what you want to do and what the goal here is to get through this stage without making it worse, to tread lightly through the stage so that your child comes out on the other side and is happy about food, is willing to eat a lot of different foods, and doesn't have any trauma or negative associations around food because of what happened during the picky eating stage. So, as promised, here are 10 realistic tips for feeding a picky eater. Number one, you provide, they decide. So, this is also called the division of responsibility. As the adult in the relationship, you have the job of deciding what's on the menu, where you're serving it, and what time you're serving it. Those are your three main jobs. Your child has two jobs also. Their jobs are to decide whether they're going to eat what you put in front of them and how much they will eat. So, your job is to provide. Their job is to decide whether they're eating what you're putting up or not. Tip number two, routine, routine, routine. Children, especially young children, toddlers, preschoolers, they love predictability and they love routines. So, this not only helps them feel secure and trust the adult in their life to provide food at regular intervals, but it also helps them with their appetite regulation. It helps them tune into their sense of hunger and their sense of fullness. Number three, one meal for all, no catering. So that means your job is to be considerate of your child and their food preferences, their nutritional needs, and what they haven't tried before. You're going to consider these things as you plan a meal or a snack, and you're going to include one or two safe foods. Now, a safe food is something your child is able to eat, is willing to eat, but it is not necessarily their favorite food. When you include one or two safe foods in the menu on the table, your child will feel more comfortable and they can eat what you serve. There's always going to be something on the table that they can eat. Again, if you want to learn more about catering and how to avoid it, make sure you watch my video about indulgent feeding style. Number four, do not pressure your child to try a new food or to take another bite. Pressure is counteractive. It makes picky eaters dig their heels in and refuse more. So, you want to encourage curiosity, but you do not want to force or pressure children to take another bite, to try something new, or to eat more. Now, I had this experience with my own child, my firstborn. She was picky at around age 2. She started to get picky and she dug in her heels, and I was pressuring her too much, and it was not working. She was getting pickier and pickier to the point where she was almost failure to thrive, and she was anemic. So, the way you approach a child around food and that interaction you're having with them while you're feeding them can definitely cause a negative association and be counterproductive. Again, I sound like a broken record, but please go watch my 3 video series on feeding styles. It will be truly eye opening for you. Number 5, this has to do with portions. So, little kids, little portions, smaller than you think. When we give children too large of an amount of food to eat on their tray or on their plate, they can get overwhelmed. So, it's better to offer less than you think that they will eat and let them ask for more, so that they get really good at gauging their appetite and their hunger and getting the feedback from you that, oh, you're still hungry? Yes, here's a little bit more food to eat. This really helps children tune in to their appetite. It's a key operative in helping them grow up to be eating the right amount of foods for their body. Number 6, involve your child in the process, meaning if you can have them help you with meal preparation, do it. Even if it's rinsing off apples or tearing up lettuce or setting the table or bringing dishes over to the sink after a meal. Get them involved. This is very much essential to engage them on their cognitive developmental stage. So, kids of this age, not only are they learning about food, but socially and emotionally, they're also gaining confidence. And so, when they can help out and they are part of the system or part of the process, they feel more confident, their self esteem grows, and they are learning at the same time. Win win for everyone. Number 7. So, this tip is really helping you remember that feeding kids is a long game. So, that's the title of this tip. Reminder, this is a long game. It's not about making one healthy meal today and getting your child to eat it. It's about feeding your children nutritious food over time. And again, that doesn't mean that it's every day. We're going to have days that are great and days that are not great, but it is nutrition intake over time that matters the most, right? It's the habits you're setting around food and nutrition and eating and feeding that are really going to make or break whether your child's a healthy eater and a healthy kid later on in life. So keep that long-term perspective instead of the quick fix, short-term perspective. Number 8, be a good role model. Show your child good eating habits, good food selection, good pace with eating, a good attitude about food. These are so powerful to young children because they are looking at you and they are absorbing everything you do. So if you turn your nose up at food and you act picky about food, that gives them license to do the same. But if you have a good attitude and you're adventurous and you want to explore food, they're going to pick up on that too. When you say, this is delicious, they're going to be curious and they're going to want to try. So try to really be the best role model around food and eating that you can be. Number 9. Tip number 9 is do not react with emotions. Don't get mad at your child. If you're frustrated, keep it on the inside. Don't show your child that you're upset with them because they won't try something or they won't eat more. It just fuels that dynamic and not for the better. It fuels it for more struggle, more strife, more power engagements with your child. So don't react. Be placid, keep a even keel face, and don't show them you are upset. And if your child is overtly refusing food, ignore it. Turn your back. I say to older kids, you don't have to eat it. It's not my job to make sure you eat. My job is just to get the food on the table. If you decide not to eat, that's your decision. Last tip, and this is for those of you who are in the throes of picky eating with your toddler right now or with your older child. Don't give up. When we look at the science, we see that children, it can take them up to 50 exposures before they accept a new food. And this is just on average. Some kids are going to take longer. Some kids may never accept a food. But don't give up. Your job is really to expose, expose, expose. If you're not exposing, they're not getting exposure and an opportunity to try something new. And if they refuse to even touch it, put it in their mouth, just ignore them and try again at a later date. It's not that big of a deal. Don't get so emotionally invested in this that you give up and stop trying, because at the end of the day, that doesn't serve your child. So, to summarize, picky eating doesn't have to take over your meal times or cause you so much frustration that meals are a slog. No fun for you and no fun for your child. Remember, at this stage of the game, food is supposed to be fun, adventurous, and a way to connect with your child, not a way to disconnect with your child. If you want to make sure you're feeding your child in the best way and choosing foods that truly nourish them, make sure you check out my parent course, The Nourish Child Blueprint. I've got a link to it in the description. It will set you up with all the positive feeding skills, good food selection, and help you understand your child and their development so that you can be the best feeder that you can be. That's it for today, folks. Hope you're doing great, and I'll see you next time.